went to two groups. One were very secure, like a part of the educational movement, and part of them was the Hasidic that reject all of that.
See, that
So
ties into like my theory.
the Jews separate to two parts. One is part of the educational movement, and another part is the Hasidic that movement that wanted to be away from anything.
Yeah, my sense of it is that like the Zionists, they want to be able to claim that they are, say, the inheritors of the Jewish tradition, that they are the embodiment of that. And my take is rather that the Zionists are putting up this axe, cut down a tree today for my grandma. But anyways, the Zionists, I would say, represent kind of like a political movement towards what something that is distinctly theological, like with the Sabbateans. You know, it's like they were oriented around a messianic figure, and so Zionism, I would say, is oriented around messianic prophecy, and in like an undeniable way. And I would say that someone like Leibovich, he represents something more broad within Judaism, wherein the like his philosophy would perfectly well be post-Zionist. Like, let's say that the Zionists go through and they do their thing, and like history is kind of like progress forward, and we like see how that all works out. I would say that his philosophy, Leibovich, his is like post-Zionist. Like it kind of like embodies where like Judaism does not necessarily need to be kind of rooted within that kind of Sabbatean kind of
Yeah, yeah.
philosophy.
His philosophy that conquering that about it's about more conquering that conquering is like Chilul Hashem. He called this why? Because he thinks that if we hold the land, it's paganian. It's paganic because holding the land and conquering and showing power in that what's not the on his opinion what's the Judaism not represent. The Judaism represent different things. Yes, he accepts the Zionism. He accepts the fact that Jews are need their own land, their own country, their all anything. But he didn't. He didn't see like the full like Eretz Israel Shlema like the full Israel.
Oh,
So so his idea,
That it include Jordan, include the Egypt, like
so he
on the
rejected
map.
that greater Israel idea as something that was
Yes, he
inherently
graded. He reject.
you said he
but
would
he
object
found
to
it to
it.
be pagan.
He reject a lot of idea, but he didn't reject. But it also reject peace with Arabs. Why? Because he sees movement like his idea that Jews are separate from other for other people because
This is
Jews need
Leibovich
to
or
be
the other
in one
guy?
place. Yes, it's Libovich also.
Oh,
He didn't believe in peace.
I see.
He didn't believe in peace because he saw the Arab countries as is the same as their enemies. Yes, he see the Arab countries as enemies that can attack us. Also the Arabs itself in our country, but still, also Kahana believed in this, and they are the same thing in this. But the difference that Leibovich didn't believe in conquering things. Kahana, of course, believed in conquering. He believed that we are that they call Am Sgula in Hebrew. I will show the translate Am Sgula. Sgula, yes. Sgula, it's also in English. He saws the Sgula. He believed that everything we are doing in our land it's important, and every Jew that is secular is a waste. He believed that God give us this land because He promised us from the beginning. So that's why we need to conquer. That's why we need to make it like Israel more not more religious, more Jewish, more Jewish not about also the region. Like maybe he believed also in building the third temple. He believed
Very
in a
interesting.
lot of
Like,
things.
it reminds me,
Oh, Hillel
you
left.
refer.
I was gonna ping him.
Oh, I
But
was gonna
anyways,
say,
go on.
I also went to Harabite. Like I went to Al-Aqsa. I am
I was gonna say, the idea, the thing that Leibowitz you said was talking about the imperialist aspect of like some forms of Zionism as the kind of pagan thing. Kind of interesting to me because it draws parallel to the imperialism of Rome because they were distinctly pagan. I
That's
can see
true.
how we can understand. I can see how we can make the connection that imperialism in itself is kind of a pagan phenomenon. I
but
can see its
That's an
perspective.
interesting observation.
But in Kahana philosophy mind, it isn't. It's part of the Judaism because in the Torah we conquered a lot of cities. We conquered Israel. We conquered also Yeshaya the king, king for the last king that was a sacred king, the last king one. In Jeremiah, in the Jeremiah life. Jeremiah prophet. Yes, I'm talking about this guy. He also he said about him that there were no king in history of Judah or Israel that did things for the Judaism. He also conquered lands, but he failed. He died in a battle.
I have like a theory, kind of like based in like what is the prophetic kind of workings of Judaism in terms of like where does it go? And my theory is that the Zionists will have a person that they declare a Messiah. Like they'll have like a kind of like apex figure of the Sabbatean kind of philosophy, and that there will also be a counter figure. Like I figure that there will be a future theological split within Judaism, wherein like some people will go in line with like a Sabbatean philosophy, and they'll believe in like a political kingdom, like the Messiah in like the political sense of like a world conqueror, and then there will be others who I think will become more Christianized. Like they'll follow more of like the idea of a spiritual kingdom, and that like you'll see like Judaism preserved within that idea of the spiritual kingdom, but not in a way
It's now
that
happening.
you don't think so.
It's now happening.
Oh,
Yes, it's now happening. If you don't know, it's now happening
that's how
because
Hillel
there are
is.
a lot of
Like he's
it's
anti-Zionist, but he's an Orthodox Jew. He studies the
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 Gemara.
I guess like
The
it's pronounced
Gemara
the
is studied.
Torah. Yeah, he studies that daily.
Yes, I know. I know the Gemara. That in other language it's called the Talmud, but it's not the real Talmud. It's the Gemara. Talmud. It's also part of the Gemara, but it's not fully. The Gemara. It's a lot deeper.
Well, I guess I don't. I guess Hillel has studied the Talmud, but I was saying the Torah. The Torah.
But I know that where he come from anti-Zionism and the anti-Zionism. He came from the movement that because he's scared because he's scared that the consequences that it have not because of Messiah, the Messiah need to come on all of that. He's just scared because many of people of that most of them are anti-Zionism from Orthodox Judaism are just scared.
I have a theory that like Zionism will lead to conflict with Russia. Like, if you look at, say, like the Western kind of puppet leader that was put in place to try to kind of like dethrone Putin, it was like Novelli or something. That guy, Putin killed him. But I think that that played into like the Ukrainian conflict, where it's like there's this push internationally for Ukraine to have independence from or sovereignty from Russia, but Ukraine is also an interesting kind of talking point as far as Zionism goes, because Ukraine is the uppermost territory within Greater Israel. So like it plays into both like theology and politics, where like if Greater Israel is to be established, there must be conflict with Russia because they have to, like that has to be taken. It's like Russia is not going to forfeit Ukraine, and Russia probably does want to, get rid of Zelensky, and like when that all comes about, it's like that's a war between West and East. It's like as soon as you start, as soon as Israel and the West, Israel, the United States, and whoever else is involved, as soon as they start a conflict with Russia, that's starting a conflict with China and with Iran and with I guess you could say probably North Korea as well. But like I guess like we've already got the conflict with Iran started, but I think that when Russia gets involved, that's where it's like that entire hemisphere begins, being involved in that. So there is some danger in that, I would say. Like if such a conflict occurs, there's World War III risk in that, and a nuclear risk.
There is now World War III. That it's now the new Cold War. We are now at the period that it's called the new Cold War, because we have a lot of things that's happening, like the risk that China will conquer Taiwan. They're going to be ready for this. Also, Iran is still with the nuclear bombs developments. We didn't do anything to Iran, so this war is just show.
Oh, I think your audio might have cut out. It might have just been for me, just right at the end there. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, there you go. I can hear you now. I know that it's not often brought up, but do you think that Taiwan would be like a part of Greater Israel in the sense of like the front nearest to China? Like you have Ukraine to Russia and Taiwan to China.
Also, it's going to happen North Korea and Japan.
Japan as the nearest one to North Korea.
It's not that near because Japan is building their army now. If you heard about them, is secretly building their new army,
Oh, I'd never heard about
like the
that.
new military. They're putting a lot of money on their army.
That's interesting. They are kind of close to North Korea. Like if you imagine like the fronts of either like side of the war, like for the West, Japan in that really like that Far East region, Japan and maybe I think like India as well are the nearest to the North Korean front, Taiwan to the Chinese front, and Ukraine to the Russian front.
Yes, of course. Also, fun fact: I also can have a Ukrainian passport, but I need to wait until age 27, because if I will do Ukrainian passport now, they will take me to their military.
Really, I
Damn.
didn't know
That's
that.
the
Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's not the military to be in.
Yeah, I know. I went to military enough.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you get involved in that Ukraine stuff. You're like fodder, cannon fodder.
Yeah, it's drone time.
I figure that, like they say, like I think it was Einstein or there was someone who said like World War III would be fought with sticks and stones. I think it like more likely it would be fought with um
The thing with
drones
that World
and
War III will
those
be fought with nukes, but
you
World
know
War
those
IV will
poles
be fought
those poles they can launch from satellites. Like it's like they launch down this like basically like a what's the word, like a spike
rod from
from
God.
God.
The
It's
rod from
basically
God,
like a
yeah.
nuke, it can destroy an entire city if they launch like a tungsten pole down from space. And in that event, it doesn't have a nuclear fallout, but it destroys an entire city, so it functions very much like a nuke. And arguably, that's
Yeah.
like pretty cheap. It's like drones are super cheap, and these shooting poles from space is arguably pretty cheap if you have the infrastructure up in space for it.
Yeah. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for Saddam Hussein's weapon plan on the rod from God to be vindicated. Oh,
What up,
Oh,
Yoda?
Liverpool,
Yo, what's up, guys?
yo.
what's up?
We're
Oh,
discussing World
how
War
you guys
Three.
doing?
And
Oh yeah,
Kach movement. And Kach movement.
the cuck
Yeah.
movement.
The cock.
Kach. Kach. It's Kach. It's like that in English.
It's like JDL and stuff, kind of stuff.
Yeah, JDL. JDL.
And at the same time, we're also
You think
discussing
World War III is going to happen soon?
probably.
I think it's undeniable it's going to happen. That's my sense of it.
I think if it
I'm
happens,
down.
it's not going to be like as big a deal as people make it out to be.
I figure a lot of people will die, and
Like
like
honestly, we're probably already in World War III. It just hasn't really been defined yet.
think about the automation component of it, where it's like if you use drones in drone warfare, you can't you can like kind of diminish liability. So like it's like a drone goes and like uses an automated system to like kill innocents. It's like that is you can't really as easily pin that on a leader. It's just like, well, the drone did it. The drone decided.
Yeah,
Yeah, but what about piloted drones? They're way more cheaper, but also like
Oh no, they're not cheaper. Those are really expensive.
piloted ones are cheaper than automated ones.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can mass produce automated drones, like ones that just kind of fly on their own. They can come as a swarm, and
No, I mean the ones that you pilot remotely.
well, those
Oh,
are typically like bigger, and I figure those will be phased out just because of the you know economic
a lot,
viability of
a lot
like.
of people are coming.
Huh?
A lot of people are coming.
Oh, what up? How do you meta reference point? It's been a while.
that's
It's now
good.
2 a.m. in my country. 2 a.m.
We're
2 a.m.
discussing drone warfare and World War III.
and the cock movement. I think that's
And Leibovich philosophy.
the implications of Zionism, World War III, drones, the end of the world. Hell, we might even get to 2043.
Meta is pretty well versed in philosophy. I'd be interested to hear his take on Leibovitz.
Unrelated to Leibniz, by the way.
Or Leibovich. That's how it's pronounced.
Thank Leibovich in Hebrew. Leibovich.
Leibovich. All
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
I should use a drone to drop eggs on people. No, that's a stupid idea.
So, what do you think would be the catalyst to World War III?
I think it'll start with conflict between Ukraine and Russia. That's my guess. Like it'll
I
be a
think it'll
two-front
start.
thing: Ukraine and Russia, and then Israel and Iran.
I think China and Taiwan.
That might be an underlooked part. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could
that'd be the
definitely
nail in the
see.
coffin.
I could definitely see where Taiwan would be involved, but I do think that it'll happen with like it'll. I guess it's technically like I would say it's already sparked between Israel and Iran, and that'll just escalate to including Ukraine, and then that will escalate into including Taiwan.
Yeah.
My stocks went down like $1,000 in Lockheed Martin, but I'm not pulling on them. I'm just gonna let them drop as much as they need to, because I figure like eventually Lockheed Martin will hopefully be involved in the drone stuff, so that my stock value can go up a ton.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Fun
But,
fact.
Oh, you've
I mean,
invested
it's
in
not
this?
moral,
That's
but
funny.
Fun fact. Did you hear that anime that represents is out?
What's
Yeah,
that? What animal
there
is
is
it?
anime finally.
Oh, anime.
That yes, reincarnated as a baby girl.
A baby what?
Baby girl. That she she talking. She's adult.
A girl.
oh yeah, I heard about that show.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I heard about that, but I never wanted to watch it because I thought it was a stupid fucking idea.
There is there is someone that translate this in Hebrew in my fan sub community.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh man. What was I gonna say? Oh, I just had the worst idea ever.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Small. Okay, you know those really tiny drones that are like, the wheelies or whatever they're called?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the really tiny ones, the super tiny ones. Those could be theoretically used to deliver anthrax.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Or any other kind of bioweapon.
I figure. I hope no
It's
one
only a
would be
matter of
ballsy
time.
enough to be spreading like plagues via drones.
Oh god. We're actually discussing things that are like straight up possible now because that's actually terrifying, but funny.
Do you guys
Okay.
think that there's technology that exists that can control the weather and start plagues?
Well, like
I don't know
like
about start
Cloudbuster?
plagues, but control the weather, yeah.
Maybe.
They can use
Oh, come on,
northern
guys.
energy.
We all know God is the most advanced technology. All right, thank you.
Isn't that like publicly available though? Like there's technology that could start rain.
Oh yeah, like the
Yeah,
basically chemtrails.
the publicly facing apparatuses that you could build yourself. They're not going to be as strong, but they can create smaller like weather events and yeah, but on like a very small scale. But like the wider large scales is like the satellites plus like some of the things on the ground, and it connects together, and they're and like shooting pulse like micro beams of that's why they have to take the particulates of like silver and like other different heavy metals, so that it causes that connection, and thus resulting in cloud seeding, other different types of weather events like pushing different jet currents together to then resulting in this and then like this like super
Superstorm?
Mm.
like like a
Like a
yeah, basically
tornado.
superstorm, basically, so that you don't have to put in as much energy, right? Because obviously you want to spend as much little as money as possible, right? If you're building things, you just want to spend as least as possible for the most bang for your buck kind of thing. And some of these products don't get too much funding, so they of course want to cut corners. They're like, yeah, there's a black budget, and you want to dip your finger in there and go, ooh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna head out. I was just checking in to just get to know people. I'll see you guys later.
No worries, man.
Have a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
See ya.
But yeah, like it's these like I built a very small because if you can control the weather, you can control like some of the like the basic premise. I thought it was absolutely insane. Was put magnet near plant, and I was like, as soon as I heard like some tentative type of evidence with like how memory works and like not Rivers Fire, but with a couple other guys with like um you know memory
You.
and stuff, is that basically plants they are able to take upon have electromagnetic energy, and then electrochemical energy, and then kind of convert that. And what happens is we just look up the world's biggest pumpkins and watermelons. They always are very hush hush about what they do. Okay, world's biggest, not 400
Oh
pound,
yeah,
1,000
like the
pound, even
1,000-pound
the
pumpkins.
whole. Yeah, the 1,000 pound one. Those are the extra special ones. Like, what the fuck? What? Why are you telling me? And it's like literally let me go and unplug my pumpkin real quick. From all these different copper wiring in the ground
I've seen
and
that kind of thing. What's his name? Theorio Apophasis, that one YouTube channel. He talks about that. He's kind of out there, but that's one thing he's talked about that I think is legit. Is you can use those copper wires embedded in the ground or copper poles or whatever, and multiply the harvest
silver.
of
Obviously,
a crop.
silver is better because it's for conductivity. But yeah, and then
Oh,
you make silver's one of the best.
Isn't
Gold,
it
not, it's almost as good as silver, but you know, it's a more fancy, flashier, but it's pretty much similar to silver. So fuck it, just do silver then.
Yeah.
If gold's gonna be ridiculously huge, wee into the sky, it's
Aren't
how much money it costs.
aren't Wilhelm Reich's orgone cannons, the Cloudbuster, aren't those made of copper?
Copper and silver, well, mostly copper, yes.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember reading once about the Cloudbuster. I have no idea how they properly work, but I could probably read up on how they work maybe.
the reason I
Yeah,
brought up
just
the weather control is because the controlled remote viewers, when they're viewing 20, basically Pluto in Pisces, that time frame, they talk about how leading up to this you have controlled weather events that escalate, and then you also have other kind of crazy stuff happening, but it's the controlled weather and then warfare. In this time period, they predict a lot of people will die to this.
there is
Maybe.
when it comes to any nature predictions, there's going to be the passive element, kind of you put a seed, you have a seed, you put it in the ground, and the passive elements is the sun hitting the ground, and water cycle, things like that. That's more of what I would consider the passive elements. The active elements is you cultivating the ground, making sure that the plant gets enough enough sunlight, maybe, but getting enough shade, things like that. That would be the more active elements of what we're talking about. So when we combine those two together, you get something very fucking interesting. That because you know how there's the observer effect, and then there's also the superposition, right? But you can get beyond, and you can not beyond, but extend that superposition so that you can then where people can get into remote viewing and all kinds of very interesting stuff. Be able to what a lot of people call divination, or predict. I would say tentatively the future. I wouldn't say they see the whole picture, kind of you get to the ninth. Let's say there's 10 lotto numbers, you only get to the ninth, right? Because there's always going to be some interference or of your own cognition with that, so it's going to cause a mixing. Okay, not a mixing confusing yourself, but just a mixing with the content of the future, and thereby resulting that the passive elements are going to go by, and then kind of splice off just a slight bit, thus still preserving, of course, free will. So but so it's kind of you not accessing the mind of someone else or something, in its totality, because that would just make you them, and you are what is considered not them, and so
my sense of it, and I kind of played around with this too, is that with the CRV, the passive element is the result from the future. So it's not actually how the process arrives at that result. It's just the result. And by focusing just on that passive element, it allows noise to be reduced. However, the
yes,
active element of that is that the result of viewing that result can contaminate the initial viewing. So like if say a
Yes.
person was going to predict lottery numbers, they can, like, from like a basic psychic perspective, they easily can predict any number of lottery numbers pretty reliably. But as soon as they start
Yes.
revealing that, and it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to make like a bunch of money by predicting lottery numbers, that
Yep.
event would create an immense amount of noise, and it's not even from them per se. Like they could have a pretty
It's from other people
yeah, from
being
other
able to
people. They could have
also.
a solid
Yeah.
psychic background where their concentration is superb. Like they are not creating their own noise. But when other people interface with their experiment, even at like a non-local level, or it's just like they've received that information, that creates an immense amount of noise.
Yes,
It
and it
makes it,
causes the confidence of that prediction to go down, thereby resulting in even not necessarily predicting what the future right then and there, because they're also participating in that. So yeah, I've seen like that's why it's like, oh, see this is why it's a scam, because I'm telling you it's a scam. You see, like you see how like they're able to like, you know, taint the data that via their own willingness to then doubt, and thereby resulting in being the active participant in that type of like destiny that they're in. But if they were just passively accepting what it is, that, not like in a blind belief, like just jump off the fucking like bridge and hope you don't like hit the ground really on your head or something. No, that's ridiculous. But I'm saying like passive is in the sense of like passively just accepting and the raw input of what was happening. Then they would then be able to participate in that and thereby forge the very thing that they're the seer or the predictor, the prediction is in its
I'd say you're
essence, and
right on
thereby being
there.
able to make it come to fruition. But nobody wants to fucking do all like you have like 1,000 people fucking get together to like to share in like the wealth of like the lotto or something. It's like, oh well,
Yeah,
everyone else got
you
fucked
remember when
over,
I
so
was doing
okay.
that? Did I
I don't
tell
know.
you
I don't
about
know the
that?
exact number, but I just like nice round numbers. That's all. Huh?
Oh, that was what I was like. That was kind of like how I set up my experiment with it. But then I ended up like contaminating my own results because I ended up like it ended up not really being logistically workable. And there are all these like holes in it where it's like, how does it get distributed, and like how does this get like kind of like handled even after the fact. And I realized like I'm not interested in even doing that. But I have dinner. I've got to go. Excellent speaking to you
Oh yeah,
guys.
fair enough. Yeah. No worries, man.
Have a
Yeah,
good
God
one.
bless, man. And have a wonderful dinner, man.
You as
Yeah,
or
man.
you have a nice day. Adios.